Welcome to the show. My name is Jeremy Poole, and I'm the host of The Moment on Real Estate Social, where we explore and celebrate the necessary transformational process one must go through to achieve a high level of success in the real estate industry. Today, ladies and gentlemen, we have a fantastic treat for you. Jason Mitchell, all the way from Arizona, the #1 real estate agent, did $220 million in volume last year, crushing it. Thank you so much for being here.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely. Well, for you guys viewing, what you don't know is that he just did an amazing hour-long presentation on how he got to where he's at. And so this interview, what we're going to do is dive a little bit deeper into who he is as a person. So, Jason, as you know, the show's called The Moment.
Yep.
What would you consider or characterize as being a defining moment or series of moments that have allowed you to accomplish all that you have at such a young age?
Well, I think in my current business right now, when I realized that we had the systems in place to actually scale, right, and I could step on the gas, I didn't do it too quickly. I looked at my business and I said, I actually remember telling my VP of sales, I said, we're not ready yet.
Okay.
You know, we're not ready to scale yet, because we could have hired a bunch of agents and really grew the team. And my thing was always, I wanted to be able to bring in the business to where all of my agents that worked for me had enough business where they could now grow their business,
right,
not hire agents and then try to go get the business. We grew slowly. Mm-hmm. Now we have a pretty large team, but I can also facilitate enough business to keep them happy, to grow their business, you know, branding, leads, whatever the case is. But I never grew with agents, I grew with business, and then I brought on the agent. So the moment came when I knew that we could scale, which was only a couple years ago, because our technology was in place.
Right.
And I knew I could do instant lead distribution. I knew that we had a great transactional experience for our clients within our technology. And that's when we kind of stepped on the gas a little bit and leveraged our brand and then our systems and technology.
Fantastic, fantastic. Hey friends, it's Jeremy Poole here, CEO of Real Estate Social and the host of The Moment. I'm here in Arizona with the #1 real estate agent, Jason Mitchell of the Jason Mitchell Group, who's also the founder of the fastest growing CRM business management tool, SHABANG. Jason, tell them all about it.
Thanks, Jeremy. You know, we're really excited where we are right now, but we're even more proud to see the success that our agents have had with our system. And the question always is, well, why? What's different about SHABANG? Well, SHABANG is the complete system. It's all been done for you. And we touch on all 3 key areas throughout the real estate transaction, which is prospecting, transactional, and post-transactional, and we've done all the work for you. So to us, we want to be able to provide simplicity and to be able to give our agents a system that takes all the time off the busy work, and so they can actually focus on selling.
Jason, thank you so much. That's fantastic. SHABANG is literally changing the way that real estate agents create and execute and grow their businesses in a way I've never seen before. If you're interested in learning more, go to www.shabangcrm.com/themoment and you'll be happy you did.
Hey guys, this is Jeff Van Nostrand. Have you ever been talking to a client that came to the conclusion that they were just going to wait to purchase a home? Wait for what? The forecast is that interest rates are going up. The forecast is also that housing prices are going up. So what exactly are we waiting for? The client says, well, I'd really like to save a bit more money for my down payment. Or, I don't want to pay $2,000 to break my lease 6 months before it expires. Okay, so the alternative is you wait 6 months and the price tag of that same home is $20,000 or more higher. Did it make more sense to break the lease for $2 grand, or do you want to pay that higher price tag? Furthermore, if interest rates go up, the cost of borrowing money is more expensive. So I really think those clients need to think long and hard about making some sacrifices to make home ownership happen sooner rather than later. I'm Jeff Van Nostrand. I'll see you next time.
I understand that you're a really big proponent on systems and processes.
Yeah.
How important is it to spend the time and the money investing in those systems before actually expanding your team?
You know, that's one of the things I wanted to touch on when we were talking today is a lot of people, and we've heard it before, but a lot of people work in the business and not on the business.
Interesting.
So when you're the CEO and you're the one that's running your team, or you as an individual or a couple people or a large team, you have to look at yourself and say, look, every day I'm coming in and I'm just firing off emails and I'm working on the day, but I shouldn't be working on the day.
Right.
I need to be working on the core and the mapping and where we're going to be in the next quarter, right? Like you got to have the vision to say, look, in order for us to get here, I need to execute on these things, and most people don't. They don't plan it, they don't put it on a calendar, they don't visualize where they want to be and write it down. So, you know, every year I do kind of like this, you know, I sit down, like this year I sat down for 3 days straight in a library. I locked myself in a library.
Really?
Yep. And I had all these boards, and I had my like vision on what I needed to do in order, because I wanted to go into different marketplaces.
Sure.
So I said, look, I'm not just going to haphazardly do this. So I locked myself in the library like 6-7 hours a day over New Year's.
Wow.
And I built out my whole roadmap of how I'm going to get there, who I need to put in place to get there, and some of the things I needed to do to facilitate that. So I'm a huge fan of mapping and being able to see what you got to do to get there, because I think working in chaos will kill you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's huge, man. That's fantastic. It sounds like you're incredibly intentional. In fact, I would imagine that you being here today is probably a part of that, correct?
Yeah, I think, look, I love going to these events because I get to learn and meet people, and that's part of it. But at the same time, for me, it's like if I can go out there and, like, for example, this is a market that I want to go into, Seattle, right?
Sure.
So I want to find a couple great agents while I'm up here.
Great.
That can help, and we can help grow their business, and it's a win-win. If we can't create it, I tell my team all the time, if I can't grow your business, then there's no reason for you to be on my team.
Right.
Like if you can do better without me, then don't be with me.
Love it.
But none of them have left.
Well, that's huge.
Yeah, right.
So real quickly, for those agents who are watching and perhaps in the crowd right now, what exactly are you looking for specifically in an agent to help you dominate this market?
Yeah, I'm not looking to dominate the Seattle market. I'm not looking to come up here and guns a-blazing.
Sure.
I'm looking to find great agents that want to increase their business by leveraging the accounts and the systems and technology that we have to grow their business.
Love it.
So I'm not trying to take Seattle by storm.
Right.
But I do want to make an impression up here, and I want to put some money up here, and I want to try to grow, and our brokerage wants to grow up here too. And I think it's really important with brokerages that, you know, you have brokerages, like my brokerage puts me on a pedestal, right?
Sure.
My previous brokerage didn't so much. And they were a great brokerage, but they didn't put our agents on a pedestal. And that's like my brokerage, you know, I'm constantly in the stars and the spotlight of what's going on,
right,
and they do that for me. So I'm not, you know, it's so like humiliating when you brag about yourself. Like no one wants to do that,
No,
right? And I don't like it either.
Yeah,
I think it's
gross.
I think I hate it. But they do it.
Sure.
And so my home group, my brokerage up here, you know, we're trying to expand and build our value and give back to agents through our culture and through our systems.
Fantastic. Well, everyone is here today to learn how to capture more leads and how to successfully convert those leads. Where do your leads come from?
The majority of my leads come from accounts that I have, relationship accounts. We were talking about channel accounts today. A lot of them now are on referrals because we have the technology where we're constantly dripping our past clients in tactful ways, staying in front of them on their birthdays, holiday text greetings, emails, check-in reminders, what can we do better, and then always asking for the deal. So as we close more and more transactions, we're always in front of our previous clients. So we constantly get referrals from our past clients, which we send right back to the agent that worked the deal through automation.
Right.
And then we build through leveraging our accounts that we have and that trust us with their clients to do a great job for them.
Excellent. You know, I was watching a video on YouTube on you. It was an interview. One thing that really hit me was you're very intentional about who you surround yourself with.
Very.
And you brought up the fact that the majority of your friends are a lot older and in some cases a lot more successful. Was that on purpose?
Well, it has to be, you know, because like I'm not a going out guy.
Sure.
I don't go out. I'm a true homebody. And it has nothing to do with anything except just the fact that's just who I am.
Right.
But I don't really hang out with friends a whole lot anymore either. Like I kind of, you know, I have great friends, but my friends have become business level friends in the most part. Now I can still call them and hang out with them, and that's fun. But I like surrounding myself with people that I can pick their brain. You know, people that have made hundreds of millions of dollars and people that have made tens of millions of dollars that I can sit back and be like, you know, and I always stay in front of them too. Like I have a client of mine, I was texting before I came up here today, and I saw that his company did really well in earnings. And I just fired him a quick thing, earnings were sick or something like that, right? And this is a guy that's worth a ton of money that's texting me back. Like, so I'm always trying to stay in front of people in a tactful way and just be cool, right? Like just be a human being. Like
that's just be authentic.
Totally.
And so guys, just so last night I was having dinner with him for the first time. It's my first time meeting you. And right away, I mean, this guy's making millions of dollars, incredibly successful, but just his demeanor, how he came across, how you were sharing your knowledge was just incredible. I mean, I get to travel around and interview some of the best in the country. Sometimes those people are very humble and sometimes they're not so humble, but you are by far one of the most humble people I've ever met who's achieved so much.
Thanks.
But one thing I do love about you is that you are incredibly ambitious and you're vocal about it.
Yeah.
Where does that hunger come from? Because it's my understanding that you don't come from money.
Yeah, so in fact, my brother's here with me today, my little brother, he's 10 years younger than me. To me, I didn't come from anything.
Right.
We were poor. I mean, we weren't even middle class, we were poor growing up. And I always had to work. I had my first job when I was 8, and I was counting cans, like in Michigan, if you return cans, you get 10 cents. So if everybody bring back cans and they would get these returns, right? So my disgusting job I had to do was count these bottles and then give people their money for the can return. That was my first job. I remember.
How old?
I was like 8 or 9, working under the table. I was making like $2.50 an hour or something like that.
Jeez.
But it was just like in me, and then I had to paper out as a caddy, and then so I had multiple jobs, but I didn't have the ability to, I couldn't go to my parents and be like, hey, can I have $20 to go to the movies? When they had it, they would do it. I love my family, and we're really tight. We just didn't have money. And then so as you struggle and you kind of make a decision. I started working at a job I was at for 8 years, telemarketing.
Right.
And we were talking about it last night.
I couldn't tell.
I was talking about it last night, and I was passionate about the sales process, and that's where my love of sales came into play, was through this job. And then I started to become more successful with that. So my passion was always the fact that I've never had it.
Sure.
And I don't have a golden parachute. If I fall on my face, I'm falling on my face.
Right.
I don't have anybody to back me up, so I can't take a day off. I can't let time pass me, because there's a lot of people smarter than me out there that'll pass me up.
Yep.
So I got to stay ahead, and I got to stay sharp, because I don't have a blanket to fall on.
Fantastic. Fantastic. You obviously crushed it in 2017. $220 million with a pretty small team. You own multiple companies. This guy's making millions of dollars. What did you fail at in 2017, and what lesson did you learn?
That's a great question. What did I fail at in 2017? Well, I'm terrible at paperwork.
Okay.
No, I'm kidding. Which I am.
Nothing?
No,
Jeremy, I crushed it 2017.
No, we did. We crushed it in 2017. I think sometimes that, a lot of people say you're getting too busy.
Yeah.
Right? And that, you got your hands in maybe too much.
Yeah.
And I don't think I do. I think that I manage it very well, and I have great people to help me in different facets of my businesses that we have. I also have great partners. My friends that are here right now are my partners. And it's we're traveling here.
Yeah.
I brought my lending company, I brought my title company, and when you're building businesses, you got to have people that help you out.
Yes.
And so it's really good to try to delegate, but I think where I failed at is I took no time to myself last year.
Yeah.
None, zero.
Yeah.
And I haven't in a long time, and I need to kind of maybe step back and look at my personal life, because I'm working so much right now that I got to try to enjoy what we've built and what we have.
Absolutely.
But the thing that is different about that is I love what I do.
Yeah.
I went fishing with my brother on Sunday, right? And he's fishing, because he loves fishing.
Yeah.
I'm not a fisherman.
He's right there.
But I went with him, and I spent an hour, and we were fishing, and next thing you know, I'm on the back of the boat and I'm working.
Yeah.
And my brother chuckles at me, but that's just what I love to do.
That's fantastic. Just doing what you love, and especially if you're talented at what you like to do. One thing he touched on in terms of partnerships that was apparent last night while we're having dinner is you, Liz, and Jeremy are talking like you guys are all high school buddies, and you guys are making so much money together, having a great time. I think that's huge, because this morning, last night, on the videos, you're the same guy, and that's fantastic.
Well, keep this in mind too with my partners. We have a great partnership because we know that each one of us are doing our job.
Right.
But don't get me wrong either. We have accountability within each other.
Sure.
If I screw up,
high standards,
Liz will call me out.
I can tell that by Liz.
She would. And the same thing, if I'm not honoring my commitment to some of my partners and vendors, and I'm not doing, you go out of your way for those people because they give it back in return. I'm always thinking of ways that we can create relationships to where what can we do first, and then we'll see if we get it back.
Okay. Now, on the subject of systems, because you're huge on systems, give me 3 primary tools that you depend on to run your business. Software, website?
Software for sure. So our software is called SHABANG CRM.
Okay.
Our software is the milestone of what we do. I have great people and great culture, but if we didn't have the systems, there's no way we could operate at the level that we operate at.
Okay.
And within that system, we have things like instant distribution. So we get 25, 30 leads a day. And when we get those leads, we have an automatic distribution that goes directly to the agent, sends a text to the client and an email. So we create that relationship the minute the lead drops, real time.
Fantastic.
So that part of it is very important. And then in the software, we have the transactional experience, making sure that the consumer gets an experience that they've never had before.
Okay.
We incorporate our concierge, we have a concierge company. So I don't care if it's you know, there's a company I do a ton of business with, and it's the greatest company in the world. It's Quicken Loans, and they have an isms book. And one of the isms is, every client, every time, no exceptions, no excuses.
I like that.
And in my business, the $100,000 client gets the same service as the $10 million client.
Good.
We incorporate our concierge service with every file that we do. We want to make sure that that experience that they have is the best experience that they'll ever have, so they tell their friends and they tell their clients. Because in the post-strip, when we're done closing, we stay in front of them. So on the second stage of what we do, the transactional experience, if I give you a better transaction than you've ever had before, in the back end, once you close, we know that you're going to refer us business.
Love it.
So we try to really make sure that transactional experience is special.
So this system, SHABANG, I want to hear more about it. Is this your proprietary software, or are you offering it to the market? What's going on there?
So we do license it.
Okay.
We're the fastest growing CRM in the state of Arizona right now.
The fastest growing?
Yeah.
Wow.
What we did is we took, so when I was trying out CRM systems, I tried, I guess I shouldn't name them, right? I was trying multiple different CRM systems, and what I found was there was no roadmap for success. And I was busy, like we're all busy.
Sure.
So I wanted to find a CRM system where I didn't have to build all the content and do all the drip emails and put the tasks and texts and all this stuff, right? Like I wish there was something available and there wasn't.
Right.
So I found myself spending so much time building out this platform, and then I looked at the platform and we created all the content, all the emails, all the texting, all the tasking, all the checklist items. We put it all together, and I built it for my team, not as a licensed product.
Right.
And then I looked back and I said, you know, dang, like this is exactly what every agent needs, because real estate is the same transaction over and over again.
Right.
It doesn't matter if it's 250 or 500, and it doesn't matter if you're selling a house that's $1 million or 500.
Right.
It's the same process.
Right.
You list it, you go in escrow, there's a process there with inspections, there's an appraisal. On the buy side, it's the same thing. On the prospecting side, it's the same thing. So it's such a scalable business. So we basically put the business in a box, and we said, here's the core, this is everything you need to learn, everything you need to know,
okay.
And it exploded because it's so easy and simple to use.
So much, in fact, I understand you went from 40 million, which is already crazy, to 220 million in like
3 years.
Three years. That's insane.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay, last question. What role does diet and exercise play into your success? I understand that you pretty much eat the same thing every day.
Yeah, I've been getting off kilter for a little bit though. You know, I gotta admit, I gotta do a little bit better job. No, but it is. I mean, look, I told my team this at our last meeting. I think this is even more relevant. Your personal life affects your business life greater than anything else. So take that break, clear your mind.
Yeah.
We all have things going on in our life, right? The key is to try to block some of that stuff out and focus on work when you can, but also making sure that when you're eating healthy, and when you're going to the gym, and maybe that's not it, or maybe when you go out of your way to make your relationship better, or maybe when you go out of your way to say, hey look, you know what, I know that if with my fiance or my wife or my husband, that when we're clicking, my business is clicking because I don't got to worry about it, right? So I always say a healthy mind is a healthy business.
Love it.
But here's the reality of it too, here's the raw part, is that we all get in ruts.
Yeah.
So it's okay to be in a rut. Just get yourself out of the rut.
Right.
Like when you notice you're in it, think about what you're going to do to get out of it. And it might take a couple weeks. It's like when people get back into the gym, right? I got to make sure I go buy the right food. You know, you go for like 3 days a week, and then you go 4.
Now you're sore.
But it takes time. It's a process. And I think that personally in life, it's a process too. That a healthy mind doesn't just come from the next day.
No.
We have to condition ourselves. Look, over the next month, this is my plan to get better personally, and then a lot of that personal stuff really leads to success in business because you are healthy when you wake up in the morning. You feel good about yourself. So I'm a huge component of a clear mind will help catapult your business.
Love it. Well, Jason, thank you so much.
Thank you.
And thank you for watching. Tune in next week. We'll see you again.